Mr. Platinum at 1989. I'm going to talk about some of the things that have been going on in TNA recently, starting off with the whole Jeff Hardy victory road situation. Now, for starters, it's kind of unfortunate that this is the way that the night ended, and this is the main focus and talk of the pay per view. Which basically, when something like that happens, especially in a negative light, I think it was the trending topic that night. It overshadows everything that everybody else did that night. For example, people can say what they want about Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy showed up and gave it his all against AJ Styles. Now, to actually talk about the situation itself, as many of you know, Jeff Hardy came out and was obviously not fit to wrestle on something, and this has happened with Jeff Hardy in the past. It actually happened as recent as Final Resolution, I believe, in December, and it's kind of crazy that number one, TNA decided to put him out there, and number two, they decided basically to force a match out of him. I think TNA has taken the route of making things more realistic when it comes to some of the storylines, whether it's Matt Morgan turning face because he doesn't support Ken Anderson wrestling with a concussion, Ken Anderson getting a concussion, and that's why I wasn't cleared to wrestle. Some of the stuff with Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle, and all these other things. And when it comes to this situation, Hardy, they couldn't just flat out come out and say that he's not fit to wrestle. Now, I'm sure some people are going to argue that work for TNA that they don't want to disappoint the fans because the fans came to see a Jeff Hardy versus Sting match. But anything else would have been better than that. They could have had, and I know it messes up their plans, but they could have had Anderson and Morgan go, especially since that match ended in a, I mean, sorry, Anderson and Rob Van Dam, especially since that match ended in a no contest. But that's just my opinion. Now, going forward, what would I say should happen to Jeff Hardy? I think they should keep Jeff Hardy, but they need to make sure that he's clean, have him sign some kind of contracts that if something like this happens in the future, he's liable for this and that. Basically, have a way and keep him out of the main event picture. Give him one more title shot or something to close that chapter on an impact, and then that's it. Keep him in the TV title picture, keep him somewhere else. And it's such a shame because Jeff Hardy is such a huge name, but if he continues to do this, then obviously he's losing the right to have that spot more and more. Now, again, like I was saying earlier, it's unfortunate that something like this has to overshadow everything else that happened that night. And I'm sure everybody else in the locker room was upset. Of course, there were reports that they were upset and this and this and that. But I don't automatically believe everything I hear on the dirt sheets or the reports. So I'm just going to say I assume that everybody was really upset about this and there was a million people in that locker room that were ready to go and weren't and weren't impaired to do so. Now, Lockdown is coming up. That is TNA's next pay per view. As many of you know, Lockdown is one of the three big pay per views in the year, with the other two being Slammiversary and Bound for Glory. Now, with Sting being the World Heavyweight Champion, I was kind of, and I said in my last video that I would like him to hold it on till Lockdown, not lose it at Victory Road, or at least Slammiversary. Now, I still stand by this, especially considering that whoever they put him up against at Lockdown, excuse me, the match is kind of, not that it's hurt, but it's hard to completely get over what happened last Sunday with the Jeff Hardy match. It feels like that chapter is still open, like they didn't get to finish on that, and things just going forward with the title. when he didn't even properly defend it in the rematch. Now, another interesting note about this, and I don't know if other people have said it, but it's just so funny that if you watch the video again, Sting like was grabbing Jeff Hardy's head to take him where he wants to take him, grabbed him by the hair to pull him into the death drop, and had to hold that pin while Jeff Hardy was trying to get out of it, as well as stop the referee. So Jeff Hardy basically got screwed. He deserved it, but he got screwed. Now, what I find so funny about all this is that the referee was Earl Hebner's son. So it's another Hebner that screwed somebody in his lifetime. And I can see him getting his own t-shirts one day saying you screwed Jeff. Same way this guy has you screwed Brett. Chance and t-shirts. But I just found that to be a pretty funny note. Now, again, going forward with Jeff Hardy, I have not seen Impact. I have not read the spoilers for Impact. If I could have it my way, I will have them address. Sorry, guys, I'm very tired. Just came out of work. If I could have it my way, I will have them address the situation, what happened last Sunday, and don't play the fans to be idiots. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I heard a report or something. One of my friends told me that Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan weren't talking highly of Jeff Hardy at the tapings. And it's going to be interesting to see what they say specifically, because Jeff Hardy's supposed to be their antichrist, their leader. And he basically screwed them when he did whatever it was that he did. Some reports show that he was found in the bathroom laying down. I don't know if those have any truth, but I just don't understand what was going on in Jeff Hardy's mind when he actually did whatever it was that he actually did. And I don't know how soon it was before the match. If it was the night before, something like that, it's not an excuse. But if it was moments before he was supposed to go, then that's completely ridiculous. And he should definitely be punished in some way for that. For starters, sending him home from the tapings, which they already did. Now, going forward for Lockdown, I believe one of the announced matches are, well, spoiler alert, if it's a spoiler, I'm not even sure, Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. Now, a couple years ago in 2009, I thought we were going to get this match on Lockdown. Now we have it. And I hope this match is like the beginning of the end of the feud. So this match... sorry. So this match, they actually give it their all and put out a match like late 2008, early 2009, Jeff versus Kurt. Not these kind of gimmick matches that have been holding them back lately. Just go out there and give it their all and beat the crap out of each other. Now, if I could book the Lethal Lockdown, obviously it would be Fortune versus Immortal. The only funny thing is that I think they need to find a way to get more or less predictable when it comes to the Lethal Lockdown. The way they've been doing it these last few years, most of the people stay in the same match. Oh my god, so tired. So, for example, some of the returning participants are Beer Money and possibly Abyss. I think that was 2 years in a row that they did it. Team Angle versus Team Cage. Except 1 year he was face, another year he was heel, and so forth. I think TNA needs to get more original. Not original, but less predictable when it comes to who's actually going to be at the Lethal Lockdown match. With that, if I had to book this card, I'll have Kazarian face. Sorry, I'm losing my flow and tempo just because I'm very tired. Point is, to skip that part for now, I would love to see Beer Money face off against the Young Bucks, even though they've been using the Young Bucks in more of an X Division style, in X Division matches and title matches. Beer Money has put great matches on with the Motor City Machine Guns, and I think they would be able to do the same with the Young Bucks. Somebody said that they're burying the Motor City Machine Guns again. I believe that Alex Shelley is injured, has a shoulder injury, so that could be a reason why. And with the World Heavyweight picture, it seems like they're building towards Sting versus Mr. Anderson. But I just hope, I just hope they have something better in store for Sacrifice. Something more exciting. Since you have Sting back, you have to use it to its full capabilities, or whatever the case may be. I mean, this is a starter. I'm sure Sting never faced off Mr. Anderson in a singles match, but they need to be able to do this consistently every month. And like I said in the past, I want them to bring back the King of the Mountain match for Slammiversary, and how even the X Division Escape match for the end of this camp. Anyways, what you guys just witnessed with me falling asleep and talking random stuff. So I'm gonna cut this video short. Like I said, Jeff Hardy, I hope he's okay, and it seems like he's getting support from different people like Kurt Angle. I just read a statement that he said that he was basically at the end of the day supporting Jeff Hardy. Certain drugs can be an addiction, and I'm not saying that it's out of his control, but the problem could be much bigger than it may seem. I just hope he gets help, and I want to see him healthy in TNA. Just keep him away from main event spots so you avoid what happened last Sunday. And last but not least, for all the people that are saying that this is the beginning of the end and this is a sign that TNA is going to burn before the end of 2011, please, seriously. Like, that is so ridiculous in these comparisons to WCW. I'm not saying that they're not there. I'm not saying that some of them don't stand out. But at the end of the day, a wrestling promotion is not going to be that different from another wrestling promotion. You got promos, you got wrestlers, you got different type of matches. You got feuds, referees, referee bumps. Until you show me a wrestling promotion that's completely different, it's going to be called what it is, a wrestling promotion. And whether or not it looks 100% real, if their intentions are for it to be part of the show or whatever the case may be, then I dig it. So with that, Mr. Blackman 1989 is out. Watch TNA Impact tonight. In the next video, I'll talk more about WWE and the WrestleMania that's coming up. I, for one, am excited for it for a couple different reasons. And just that whole Snooki thing, I mean, I'll talk more about it next time because right now I'm falling asleep. Mr. Blackman 1989 watching back tonight on Spike TV. And peace.